Well, friends, how is everyone doing today out there in roller derby land? Today, this is bout number 2,
Yes, for Sunday.
Sunday. My goodness. It feels like we've had roller derby happening for the last 7.5 days. I love it. We've got Downriver Roller Dolls going up against the Nashville Roller Derby. First whistle blown there. We are getting to it. Apologize for the overlay. We're working on that. Lead jammer currently going to Punch Key Bruiser. That is the Downriver Roller Dolls skating out there in black.
All right, this is Mr. Rad. That is the end of the first jam. Just going to run through the rosters. Nashville Roller Derby is 121 Gigawatts, 124 Kablamazon. Number 13 is Shirley Mental. Number 18 is Stitches. Number 220 and Captain's Electrical. Number 23 is Scintilla Lace. Number 31 is Pop Tart. Number 329 is Alita 1. Number 42 is Virginia Slam. Number 43 is Rosie the Riveter. Number 53 is Punch Bug. Number 64 is A-Bomb. Number 671 is Rough Edges. Number 7 is AKA Rogue. And the coach is Mr. Cal.
All right. Thank you for that introduction to Nashville. While that was going on, that is number 53, Punch Bug, picking up a lead jammer for Nashville in jam number 2 of bout number 2 in day 2 of AprilAngst 2019. So Punch Bug rolls through the pack, picking up a quick 4 points. Number 92, Unleashia for Downriver, answering with 4 of her own. So let's go ahead and chat about Downriver real quick. Out of Woodhaven, Michigan, 249 is Booty LeBrute. 25 is Punch Key Donut, also known as, Punch Key Bruiser, also known as Donut. 317 is 4 Leaf Clobber. 390 D Nasty. 4 is Breezy. 427 Mitch B Trippin. 6 Crusher Claire. 67 Jessabit Psycho. 7 Cotton Candy Princess. 85 is Shira. 86 is Otter Control. 92 is Unleashia. 313 D-Town Diva, also known as Downtown Diva. And 923 is Hexen Beast.
And their coaching staff for today is Eat, Chip, and Die and Barbara Welters.
Thank you for that information. So how are you doing today, Mr. Rat?
I'm doing okay. I'm hoping that I can do as well as I did yesterday.
All right. I mean, one more day, one more dollar.
Yes.
All right. Well, I am Loose Change, and of course, we've got Mr. Rat joining me here today. Thank you for being here as we go through this second bout of the day. With that is number 43, Rosie the Riveter, picking up lead jammer for Nashville Roller Derby. Otter Chaos with the star for Downriver, looks like Rosie picking up those points, calling it off. A quick 4 unanswered points. That puts Nashville at 8 points. Downriver's at 4.
Yeah, both these teams played 1 game yesterday. Downtown River beat Forest City 263-34. And Nashville was in a nail biter with Penn Jersey.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Penn Jersey winning 154-151. Came down to the very last jam.
That was so exciting. The crowd was just electric.
Yes.
I mean, as one would think, because this is Penn Jersey, station that we're basically in. It's their house.
Yes, it is. All right.
Well, out there we've got number 7. That is AKA Rogue, I believe.
Yes, you are correct.
Yep, so yes, that is AKA Rogue with the star for Nashville in white. In black/blue, that is number 313, Downtown Diva, D-Town Diva. D-Town picking up that lead jammer.
Yeah, Rogue was coming through the pack, and then Four-Leaf Clover put a nice hit onto the jammer and knocking them out of bounds, allowing the other team to get lead jammer.
Four-Leaf Clobber living up to that name, putting a little clobber right down on him. Okay, so, I mean, we're just over 4 minutes into this first half. We're already rolling into jam number 5. So we've seen a couple of quick jams here and there. 4 points, 4 points, 4 points, 4 points. Right now, both teams at 8. Oh, my goodness. Real fast on the outside. Yes. That is Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart jamming against, Pop-Tart jamming against Donut. What could be a better matchup than that?
I'm hungry. I would like to eat both of those delicious breakfast pastries. I mean, I had breakfast, but you can always eat another donut.
Of course.
I mean, Pop-Tart's not necessarily my go-to. I prefer the toaster strudel. Thank you very much. Because then I can decorate it with, like, my frosting however I want.
Weirdly enough, you dip that donut into milk, and it feels like nothing in your stomach.
See, now I want donuts. Will you go get me donuts, Mr. Rat?
I do not believe we actually have a donut truck here.
Oh, man.
And I'm not even sure what is around as far as Dunkin' Donuts.
There's a Dunkin' Donuts not too far away from my hotel.
Unleasha is a lead jammer.
Looks like we've got
Downriver.
Yeah, so we got a nice little full house over there kind of hanging out in the penalty box for Nashville. We got 2 blockers and a pivot, and apparently it's the place to be because that jammer is going to hang out with them as well. So that is Punchbug in the jammer, in the penalty box, wearing the star for Nashville. So this is a power jam for Unleasha.
We just picked up 4 points on that last pass and on a 12-point run. Or jam, really.
You know, I mean, prior to this, Nashville had a little bit of a lead. I mean, I think it was about 12-8.
Right.
I mean, obviously now we're looking at 12 points already up there. You know, so they're sitting right now at 20 now for Downriver. So, I mean, it's definitely what Unleasha wants to see in as far as what Downriver wants to see as well. However, now we've got Punchbug released from that penalty box.
Yeah, and I'm sure those penalties to begin the jam helped out a lot because Unleasha picks up, unless they're going to add some points to that, there's a 16-point jam,
Ooh.
Not only giving them the lead in the middle of the jam, but the lead in the game.
Yeah. I mean, that triples their triples, quadruples. Oh, and again, much like the announcer curse, now it's suddenly 19 points that have been added. Because as soon as we say something, it changes.
Yes.
Welcome to being an announcer in roller derby.
Yes. And we are at, Downriver with 27, Nashville with 12, 23 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. Nashville did take a timeout.
So that was that was not only extremely effective for Downriver to pick up the points that they needed, but they were also able to hold Punchbug when, they came out of the penalty box. They were able to hold them scoreless. So that's always something, when you're trying to make that swing and trying to put points up on the board, that's what you want to be doing. So, I mean, Downriver's got to be feeling real proud about themselves for that last jam.
All right, Rosie the Riveter jamming for Nashville. Otter Control jamming for Downriver. And Rosie the Riveter for Nashville is lead jammer. I've been given a stat that the Nashville is actually leading in blocker penalties so far. So that could be affecting the score as well.
It's penalties are one of those things that you always need to be cognizant of, especially especially when it comes to your jammers, obviously.
Mhm.
You know, but so far, I mean, we're not even 8 minutes in, and there's already been at one point in time 4 people in the penalty box
Yes.
at the same time for the same team.
Yeah, and that's going to affect the score, especially if there's nobody out there to block the other jammer. And Downriver is the lead jammer with D-Town Diva, who's jamming against Rogue for Nashville.
Rogue with a little star stash.
D-Town Diva quickly gets around the track after the initial pass, gets through the pack, scores those points, calls it off, so no damage can be done on Nashville's side.
I feel like we're going to be seeing that a lot. It's going to be, I'm going to get through, get my 4 points, and call it from both of these teams because, I mean, my goodness, they're relatively, with the most recent rankings, Downriver is at 125, Nashville's at 113. I mean, Nashville had that nail biter against Penn Jersey last night. So, I mean, I'm sure they are looking for a win. Downriver, I feel like they won against Forest City yesterday. I would need to double check.
Correct. Yep. It was Forest City. By hand, like a handful. They did very well in that game. Right now, Donut is lead jammer. Pop-Tart did get a point.
Pop-Tart picking up 1. Punchkey.
Referees are getting together. Hopefully they're discussing how many points Donut picked up. Okay, there's one point for each jammer.
All right. Pop-Tart and Punchkey. On the line, looks like we've got Unleasha out there for Downriver. And it looks like that is Punchbug for Nashville.
And one blocker for Downriver sent to the penalty box. Punchbug pressing Downriver to the front of the pack. And Punchbug is lead jammer. Another blocker being sent to the penalty box for Downriver. We'll see if this goes in the way of a Punchbug, and a nice job with a little hop through the apex, picking up 4 points. And yesterday, Nashville's game against Penn Jersey, this is really how it went.
Yep.
There was Penn Jersey was pretty much catching up the whole first half, and Nashville just chipped away at the score. And Downriver might be doing the same thing, and it might have the same effect in this first half.
So Punchbug, 3 passes so far, looking 12 points. With that pack right in front of us in between turns 2 and 3, Unleasha clearing that initial pass finally after just being stymied by those blockers for Nashville. Meanwhile, Punchbug, let's see. I feel like this is going to be a tie game. And because I was I was doing the math in my head. I was like, if it's 4 points, it's a lead change. But I was like, I don't think she cleared those hips. I think she only got 3. From my view, obviously. The officials agreed with me. We are at a tie game right now, 32-32.
During that last jam with Unleasha jamming, the Downriver blockers did not come out with a pivot cover.
Oh, really?
So Unleasha attempted to pass the star, and nobody was there to receive it. Unleasha, it looks like Unleasha may have been hit in the face, maybe feeling gassed during that jam.
Yeah.
And Downriver has just been sent to the penalty box. Otter Control is on a penalty, and Rosie the River is on a power jam.
Rosie the Riveter with that lead jammer. I mean, this is what Nashville wants to see. They want to be able to, put more points on that board, and just like that, we've got a lead change.
Yeah, Rosita River going through the two blockers didn't even look like they were attempting to stop Rosie at all. Or it's just that they were not aware that she came up that fast.
You know, I mean, track awareness is one of these things that is so... There's two things, in my opinion, that are pivotal for roller derby. One is time management. You need to know the clock and how to use the clock, and track awareness, whether it's where your body is or where other people's bodies are.
Shira knocking Rosita River out of bounds, causing her to retract behind Downriver, which is helping Downriver now as Otter Control is out of the penalty box and just picked up 4 points, which will actually tie up the game once again.
This is gonna be exciting, roller derby. And of course, just as we talk about a tie game, 4 more points up there for Nashville, so we're looking at 40-36. I feel like we need to start keeping track of the number of lead changes that we have, because I feel like there's going to be a lot.
Yes.
And I feel like it's going to be consistently within like 4 to 12 points the whole entire game. Absolutely.
Official.
That is my prediction right now.
Okay.
Loose change, your resident psychic is in the building. This is what I'm saying. FYI, I'm always wrong, so don't believe anything I say.
That's quite okay, because very rarely are announcers correct.
I mean, people ignore us anyways, so it's fine.
Yet we still announce, because we're a glutton for punishment.
Let's be realistic. I announce because I like to be the center of attention, even if it's for like a quarter of a second in someone's mind. Because I am, yes, an attention seeker, shockingly enough. What I love is the fact that like 90% of the announcers, friends that I have, are all like super introverted.
Oh, yes.
And they're just like...
I'm one of them.
It's like, let's go to the after party. And they're like, no, why would we do that? It's like, because friends. It's like, no, I spent all day talking. I love my announcers.
Rogue is jamming for Nashville. D-Town Diva jamming for Downriver. One blocker for Nashville is released from the box, and one blocker for Downriver went in.
Little blocker switchy swatchy in the in that penalty box.
Rogue achieving her first lead jam of the game.
Nice. Rogue calling it off, though. Not putting any points on the board, but also holding D-Town Diva scoreless. Oh,
Rogue did pick up 1 point, yeah.
All right. See, again, this is why people don't pay attention to us, because we're always wrong. Well, hello to the 22 people of you that are out watching. I can see that on my lovely little screen next to me.
That is the 4th jam in a row that Nashville has scored, which has allowed them to take the lead over once again.
Excellent.
Pop-Tart jamming for Nashville. And that is Donut for Downriver.
Having this much of a food-themed bout this early in the morning is just getting me really excited for lunch. Pop-Tart on that inside line with just a little bit of a shove to, I think that was Electrical, as like a, hey, I'm right here, please move for me. Picking up the 4 points. Pop-Tart coming up again. Oh, a little bit of jammer engagement happening as Pop-Tart was getting Punchki Bruiser ready to be kind of continually recycled by the rest of those blockers there.
Cotton Candy Princess, another food reference, knocks Pop-Tart out of bounds. I feel like I'm just being a masochist now.
I know.
And that was the 4th jam in a row that Nashville has achieved lead jammer status.
Ooh, I mean, Nashville's finding their groove. Sometimes it just takes a little while, and that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and it seems like they're recovering from the little bit of penalty trouble that they had, which caused them to lose the lead, and now that they're gathering themselves back together, they have just regained the lead and, I guess, staying steady with what they have.
Team timeout being called by the Downriver Roller Dolls. Well, friends, if you can hear our delightful, lovely voices, thank you for joining us on day 2 of AprilAngst 2019. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
we're
we're in Penn Jersey Roller Derby's what's so affectionately called the Bud Hole.
So I am from Minneapolis, Minnesota. My home league is North Star Roller Derby, and we also have our practice space in a warehouse. It is just our practice space. It is also not a venue space and a bank track space and a workout room and locker rooms and autographs and parking availability and bank track. I mean, like, when I walked in here, I was like, oh. And then, like, as I started wandering around yesterday, I was like, they have, like, a whole little workout space back here.
Yep.
They have, like, all of these, like, skates that I'm assuming people can borrow back here for, like, fresh meat.
It's like a little home away from home.
This is such a cool space. I love it. I'm so excited that I was able to come here this weekend.
Okay.
Team timeout coming to an end. We've got Unleashia back out there for Downriver. Mr. Rat, who's out there for Nashville?
That is Punchbug for Nashville.
Punchbug seems to be kind of their go-to jammer at this point in time.
Yes, Punchbug is a regular, does a good job of getting through, becoming lead jammer, and if the other jammer does become lead, does a good job of getting through the pack and causing that jammer to call off the jam. But in this case, Punchbug is lead jammer. And 4-leaf clobber was sent to the penalty box for Downriver.
Beautiful jump there over that apex. I was a little concerned because I saw that Nashville blocker still there, but to no avail.
And Punchbug forcing their way through there, a little shoulder to shoulder.
And again, oh man, there have been just some epic apex jumps and leaps and hops and spins and twirls that we have been seeing all weekend long. And I mean, Punchbug did a couple in that singular jam right there that compete with just about all of them.
Yes, that was, so far, Punchbug is at 75% lead percentage.
Nice.
Yes. And I believe yesterday, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I believe yesterday was very, very close to what I think she had out of 7, I think just in the first half, out of 7 times she jammed, she became lead 5 times.
Nice. I mean, that's the type of jammer stats that you want to see when you're thinking about, okay, what are we going to do next time? What are we going to do tomorrow? How are we going to change things up?
Yep.
So just about 12 minutes left on the clock. Nashville 57, Downriver 40. So, again, proving me wrong already. I said this was going to stay within 12 points the whole entire time. We are a 17-point game right now.
Yes.
I mean, you know, not that it – I mean, it's 17 points. We've seen, you know – let's see. I'm trying to remember. Was it a 22-point jam earlier today? Was the highest jam that we had?
You mean between both games so far?
Yeah.
I came in a little late. That might be true.
It was either like 19 or 22. So I mean, realistically, it's you know, one jam, or it's a couple of really fast, you know, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here jams to make up the difference. So.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Unleashia earlier in this game had a 19-point jam, which allowed a Downriver to take the lead.
Yeah.
So as far as this game goes, it's 19 points.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you know, you throw Unleashia out there one more time and... No, I'm just constantly afraid fall off, and it will be because of me. That's my fear.
So you know, healing, you can kick the wire and you won't do anything. So
All right. Nashville's jammer contacted a black blocker for Downriver in the air. Downriver was looking for a penalty on the white Nashville jammer. There is no call, and that stands. And now we continue with Derby.
Okay, so we've got 2 blockers in the box for Nashville. And looks like
Pop-Tart is being sent there as well.
yeah. Definitely looked like she potentially didn't agree with the call that was being assessed.
Yes.
But, you know, as the responsible skater she is, she reported to that penalty box. So this is a power jam for Otter Control, who is lead jammer. 4 points so far on this first pass for Otter.
And Pop-Tart is standing in the penalty box. Nice job by Scintilla Lace hitting Otter Control at the last moment. Otter Control did gain control of themselves enough to get back on the track and get 4 more points.
Otter Control was very in control. Very in control indeed, as Otter picks up another 4-point pass. That is 12 points. Remember how we were talking about it's just a 19-point differential?
Yes.
Guess what?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now we're down to 5 points.
I'm very happy that yesterday I was able to call the Penn Jersey Nashville game, which came down to the end.
Oh, my goodness.
And now I'm able to announce this one, which is 5-point difference.
10 minutes remaining on the clock. On that outside line, that is number 4-3, Rosie the Riveter, lead jammer.
D-Town Diva about half a lap behind. Four-leaf Clobber comes out and puts a hit on Rosie the Riveter. And where's Four-leaf Clobber in disbelief getting called for a penalty.
But again, reporting to that penalty
Yes.
box as any good skater should.
Yes.
And official timeout being called. So 3 points were put up on the board for Nashville in that jam. So we're looking at a 60-52 at this point. 60 for Nashville, 52 for Downriver.
You are correct.
Well, thank you for validating my point explanation. I know. Sometimes I'm like, and it's funny because then I like sort of turn to look at you, and it's like well, what am I supposed to say, Luce? It's not like I'm going to disagree with you. And so you're just like, yep, accurate. I concur. How many times can I speak of things in the affirmative?
So Nashville will begin on the power start. Of course, one jammer for Downriver and one blocker in the penalty box. And Nashville has one blocker in a penalty box as well. Punchbug was expecting a hit from one of the blockers, but Downriver actually went down on one knee, or one of the blockers did. And Punchbug said, okay, I'm going then. And got through and became lead jammer.
Little bit of a micro pack with the folks in that penalty box. We've got a 3-on-3 pack with then Punchbug, of course, with the star.
Yeah, Booty LeBrute did a good job of knocking Punchbug out of bounds, causing a retraction. But, of course, Punchbug back on the track, punching through the pack and getting 4 points.
Meanwhile, that penalty box has been emptied, so D-Town Diva back on the track, utilizing those long legs, trying to pick up some speed to get to that pack. But just as she does, Punchbug calling it off, not before picking up 2 more points herself. So that is 6 points in total for Nashville. Downriver held scoreless. yet again.
Yeah, that's 2 jams in a row from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Donut behind the line for Downriver. And that is...
Is that Rogue?
Yes, that is Rogue.
We may have this wonderful view from up high, but sometimes those letters and numbers are very
Yes.
small and far away.
Yes, I was actually having a difficult time with the front of the jerseys, just trying to figure out which team was which.
Rogue with the star, but that is Punchki Bruiser, who is lead. Clears the front of that pack for a full 4 points and calls it. Rogue, no points
And
on the board.
that is the first scoring jam for Downriver. And I get the two previous, there was no score for them. So now they're down by 10 points, 66 to 56, with 7:15 remaining in this half.
Welcome to Sunday morning roller derby, friends.
So we have Pop-Tart jamming for Nashville and
And-
Unleasha jamming for Downriver.
Yeah. Unleasha, the one thing I do enjoy is that I can recognize Unleasha by the hair, which is 90% of the way that I recognize my jammers and other people I talk about is by their hair.
Unleasha, yeah, goes to the back of the pack and looked like just said, okay, I'm just going to call this off. Didn't even get swept out, kind of veered to the right.
Well, it was so funny because you could see, like, at the almost exact moment that she turns and realizes
Yeah.
that the other jammer, oh, she's right
Yes.
there. I need to call this.
Yes.
It was like you could see the click, 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 ding happening in her brain as, like, in the moment that she was making those
Yes.
split decisions.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
And she did pick up 1 point. Rosie the Riveter, yes, picking up lead jam for Nashville, going against Otter Control.
Rosie says, that's fine. I'm going to get some points.
Rosie the Riveter took out her own blocker there.
Oh, well, sometimes a little friendly fire is
Yes.
going to happen.
Yep.
Rosie also was able to pick up 3 points, so I'm sure her blocker was more than willing to be the sacrificial lamb
Yes.
for it. 'Cause
Okay.
that's what you got to do, you know.
Yes.
Sometimes you need to sacrifice a good belt. Sometimes you need to sacrifice, yourself. It all varies.
Okay,
Nashville at 69 with Punchbug out there. Downriver 57. D-Town Diva out there. Punchbug at the top of that pack. Both jammers hit to that inside, having to recycle. Blocker for Downriver heading to that penalty box. But that is Punchbug with lead.
And 2 blockers are sent to the penalty box for Downriver. And now a Nashville blocker, Punchbug through for 4. And now the Downriver jammer, D-Town Diva, being sent to the penalty box.
D-Town Diva being sent for a track cut penalty. So this will be a power jam for Punchbug. Also, we have a little bit of a micro pack happening. We've got 2 Downriver blockers, 3 Nashville blockers out there.
Yeah, Punchbug using her blocker to get, force her way to get a little bit of speed behind her. 2 blockers for Downriver did get in front, but that did not slow down Punchbug.
Punchbug seems to be the type of jammer that can very much take a hit and still just be like, nope, shake it off and keep going. Looks like that penalty box has been emptied, so we've got everybody back on the track.
Until at just this moment when Booty LeBrute is being sent to the penalty box.
Sometimes I wonder why I even say things, because as soon as I do, they're no longer accurate. But you want to know what is accurate? Another 4 points for Punchbug. That's what. picking up 12 points so far this jam.
All right, so far in this game, we have had no jams that had no lead.
Ooh.
And
we haven't
Go ahead.
We haven't had any lost leads, have we, either?
I
don't think so.
I don't think. Actually, you were correct because I was told that there were no full 2-minute jams. I believe up until that last jam because it just ended. Punchbug just kept on going, scoring those points and putting 16 points up on the board. Nashville with 85 and Downriver with 57, spreading out that lead. And I don't have a calculator right here, and I'm going to say it's about, what, 28 points?
Yeah, sounds about right
All
to me.
right, good.
Sure, why not? We'll go with 28 or so. You know, I mean, Nashville pulling out little by little, couple points here, couple points there, securing their lead that they would like to continue through this first half and into the second. But Downriver, that is Punchkey Bruiser saying, I don't think so, Nashville. I'm picking up lead jammer. I'm going to show you what's what.
All right, Downriver skater collided with one of the Nashville skaters. Booty LeBrute did go down, took a little bit of time to get back up. She is skating to the penalty box. Appears to be okay.
Punchkey coming into that wall of skaters in white. Gets her hips around 2 and calls it. Looks like that is 6 points? Yes, 6 points for Punchkey. 63 to 85.
So that last jam before this one, Nashville had a 16-point jam. That has been the highest jam for Nashville.
Ooh.
Previously, it was 15 points.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you for all of your wonderful...
I have to thank our producer, Cragen. And Pop-Tart is a lead jammer. Not looking very happy that Alicia got through.
At first, I thought she was complaining about a penalty, but I was like, "You're still on the track, and you don't have anything being called on you."
Yeah.
Ooh.
And looking at the skaters that are on the track, it appears that Pop-Tart was unhappy because there was only 2 Downriver skaters on the track, but Nashville had the majority of blockers. So, like, I don't understand why Alicia got through. Why aren't you guys helping me?
I mean, if I was a blocker and I saw Alicia coming at me, I'm fairly certain I would just be like, "Oh, let me just sweep.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead and step off the track and give you as much space as you need.
Right.
I'm okay with you just passing me. That's fine. You want me to skate the opposite direction? All right, I'll do that too."
Okay, we have a cut track being called on Rosie the... Okay, they're calling it off. So, Rosie the River got called for a cut track. Then, Rosie the Riveter's jam ref called her lead and back onto the track. And then she went to the penalty box because they sent her there again, and now she's back on the track.
There is there is some confusion happening.
And now, all right, yeah, now Downriver's jammer is being called lead, out of control. Oy vey.
Rosie the Riveter back in the penalty box. This is why I am glad I'm not an official anymore.
I think so. Dare I look into my crystal ball and say that there's going to be either an official review or official timeout at the end of this jam?
Who knows? I mean, I've already been proven wrong, so why wouldn't you be proven wrong as well?
Of course.
You know.
Of course. And I am married. My wife tells me I'm wrong quite a lot.
I mean, you know what happens to announcers when we assume, right?
All too well. This is appears to be that it will be the last jam. We have 10 seconds remaining in the jam itself and the half.
You know how we were talking about lead and lead lost and full 2-minute jams and things along those lines?
Yep.
There was no lead. Well, there was lead, but then lead was
Yeah.
lost, so this was a full 2-minute jam. And this is actually going to end with Rosie the Riveter in the penalty box. And, oh, hey, look at that. We have an official review being requested.
Rosie the Riveter went to the penalty box for a low block at the very end of that jam when the whistles were being blown. So, this is where we stand. Nashville with 89.
I mean, technically we're sitting. But
Sure. We are in a stoop, though, so I guess I can be considered standing as well. Nashville with 89. Downriver with 70. Downriver picked up 7 points on that last jam, and Rosie the Riveter is sitting in the penalty box. If this official review doesn't bring her out, which I don't think it will because of that last penalty call at the end, Rosie the Riveter will be sitting in the penalty box to begin the second half.
Yep. So that'll be a power start to the second half for Nashville.
Yes.
I will say this. I have the utmost respect for all of the officials.
Yep.
I started my career in roller derby as an official myself. I know everything that goes into the rules and reading and writing and interpreting and utilizing and memorizing and applying and practicing. I do not envy when there are situations like this where it's like, from my perspective, this is what I saw. From your perspective, this is what you saw.
Right.
And then trying to come to a meeting of the minds in that. Being an official is hard. We love them so much.
Yes, and we thank them for being here all weekend, and the NSOs.
Absolutely. So here's the thing about officials, and being a jammer is great. You get the glory. Being a blocker is great. You get to hit people out of bounds.
With love.
With love. It's always done in love. If you really want to test your endurance, you go be an official, because guess what, friends? They jam every jam.
Yes, they do.
They skate every skate.
Mm-hmm.
You want to increase that endurance that you're always talking about? You go be an official for a year or two. That's my endorsement for the officials.
And of course, and when you're talking about this is what I saw as far as an official goes, this is what I saw as either a coach or skater. It also depends on the angle that you're looking.
Oh my gosh, so much angle.
Because that's where I've always been an announcer, and watching like playoffs and looking, and I can assume a lot. It's like, oh, I think that looks like that was supposed to be a penalty. The person next to me says, no, you're actually wrong. And, of course, it's the angle that you're watching as the penalty happens or the hit happens. It's all on, I guess you could say it's all on angles and inches.
Yeah. It's so, I see so many officials that are now, I mean, it happens very frequently, and it's all over the place. But I feel like it's happening more and more frequently where you have officials that are borderline sitting on the ground, like they're that close to the ground while they're skating to really be able to see the intricacies of where is the wheel, where is the toe stop, where is the body being positioned, to have those like those intense angles that you need to like really have that like, oh yep, okay, this is what we're seeing 100% a surety. So I think it's, yeah, man.
We appreciate all of the officials, all of the announcers. I'm sorry, all the officials,
I appreciate the announcers.
Referees,
NSOs, all of our
yeah.
medics,
yes,
our photographers, all of the people that have volunteers that have helped put this on. Penn Jersey, shout out to Penn Jersey Roller Derby. Woo woo, y'all throw down.
Yes.
This has been so much fun.
Yeah, I only live about 30 minutes away from here. I have every option, every time I get a chance to come here to announce, It's like coming to a second home. I announced for
Aw.
Brandywine Roller Derby and Reading Derby Girls. So, and then this is my, I guess you could say, third home away from home. But yeah, they're always welcoming. They're always a happy face and happy to do anything that they can to help you out. And they've been great to us.
They have indeed. Real quick shout out to a couple of our vendors. If you are in the Philly area, come on down.
Okay. Now
That's
I guess
another official review
Yeah,
being
looks like
called?
Downriver have had their chance to speak about their official review. Now Nashville has called a official review. And I'm not even going to speculate because there could be a lot of things. It could be trying to offset what Downriver was trying to say.
Yeah, who knows? One thing I will tell you is it does not surprise me that both of these teams are using their official reviews because A, why not? It's the end of the half. But B, this is a 19-point game.
Oh, definitely.
I'm so excited to see what this second half is going to look like.
Yeah.
We sort of discussed penalties a little bit earlier.
Yep.
You know, there was a little bit of penalty trouble in the beginning. Both teams sort of seem to have gotten that down midway through.
Yep.
Towards the end, it sort of seemed to start increasing again. You know, so, okay, which is the team that's going to be able to, get that together? Are they both going to be able to? And we're going to see good, clean gameplay going forward. Or, you know, are we going to start seeing some additional jammer penalties where, you know, both of these teams seem to have a fairly decent jammer rotation that they're utilizing, decent jammer pool. You know, are we going to start seeing additional jammers kind of hopping in every once in a while if we start seeing those jammer penalties?
And, you know, there are times when teams have, you know, those jammers that they won't play in the first half, and they will pretty much have those jammers that have been blocking for the first half of the game come in and add some, I guess you could say, mystery to the second half because you haven't actually seen those jammers play or jam in the first half. So they come in and nobody's ready for it.
Yep. I love that. So for me, I've seen Downriver and Nashville play, you know, these last couple of days, or today and yesterday, obviously. But, previous to that.
Yep. Continue.
I think we're done. I'm not sure. But so one of the things that I always love when it comes to seeing new teams is who are those sort of secret jammers that they hold in reserve for that second half that sort of just come out and just blow people away.
Yes. Okay, the intermission clock says 6 minutes and 45 seconds. All right.
So we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break and try to get some information as to what was partaking in the middle of that track. We will be back.
It appears to be in 6.5 minutes.
Yes. Or so.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening.
Bye, friends. See you soon.
Okay, so we are ready for the second half. The official reviews that happened during the last game.
So both teams requested an official review.
And from what we were told, Downriver did not have an official review to use.
Well, so they used their official review as like a clarification, I think.
Right.
And then they got the clarification they wanted, and then Nashville, like, I think it was something to do with the track cut.
Yes.
I'm not totally sure. And then it was like the yes clarification, that penalty was taken off. And then they were like, okay. And then Nashville was like, we have an official review for that track cut that was just taken off.
Yes. And then we were told that it's going to continue through halftime.
Yes.
And they have still not come up with a decision.
So, I mean, again, this is, you can see, okay, they're in.
Mulling around. Yep.
It looks, I mean, officials are still huddling in the middle
Yeah.
trying to figure out everything. Again, this is where high-level roller derby officiating comes into play for all of the things.
And one question I asked our producer was, okay, so the question was raised at the end of the first half. Downriver did not have an official review at that time, but we're starting the second half. They do have an official review right now. Can they use that?
To talk about what happened in the last jam?
Yes. Because the next jam has not started.
This
it
is
looks like it's
true.
going to, but it didn't start yet. So really, it doesn't negate anything that's happened.
Yeah. I mean, if they really wanted to, I think that they would be able to.
And that is why I am an announcer for those questions.
Okay, so with that whistle, we are back at it. We got Punchkey Bruiser out there in that penalty box. That is
Rosie the Riveter.
Rosie the River. Thank you.
Yep. So Donut is the lead jammer. And first points of the second half has been collected and thrown up on the board, 4 points. That was Stitch's number 18, knocking Donut out of bounds into the inside. Rosie the River is out of the penalty box, did get through the pack on their initial pass. Donut got through, picked up 4 points, calls off the jam. That is a total of 8 points on that jam for Downriver.
So we are back to a 11-point game here. Nashville 89, Downriver 78. As Mr. Rat gets additional clarification from those penalties and questions and reviews that happened at the end of the first half. We've got Unleasha out there. Number 92 for Downriver with that lead jammer. Pop-Tart out there hot on the heels. Looking to give Unleasha a run for her money. Unleasha calling it off. Picks up 2 points. Pop-Tart picking up 1 point herself. And with that, we are at a 10-point game. 90-80. Nashville. Downriver. Otter Control out there with the star. That is Punchbug with the star. One of the blockers for Downriver heading to that penalty box. Otter Control picking up a lead jammer. Punchbug hit to the outside. They're recycling. We've got a Star Stash for Punchbug. Stashed, but not traded. Punchbug is still jammer of note for Nashville. Three points picked up there for Downriver.
All right.
Okay, tell me what you learned.
This is a little complicated, but okay. So Nashville, at the end of that jam, at the end of the first half, we're coming out onto the track to talk about points that they wanted to be rewarded for when Punchbug was out there going around the track, even though she was called for the penalty, but then it was rescinded. The cut track was rescinded. So Nashville was asking for those points to be awarded. Oh, boy. Those points to be awarded. Then Downriver was calling their official review for they wanted that cut track to be assessed. But the ref said no. The no call stands.
Okay, real quick.
Yep.
That last jam, just an FYI, no points scored. Downtown Diva picked up lead jammer, called it off. Rogue got through first, but was not lead firm, and no pass, no penalty. Sorry, continue telling me more.
Yeah, so pretty much to summarize that whole thing, Nashville was looking for points at the end of that when they came into the middle at the end of the jam, or end of the half, and then Downriver called the official review to they wanted that cut track, but the ref said no call stands, and that's where we are.
All right.
It actually seems a lot simpler than it was.
All right. Well, it didn't affect points. It didn't affect penalties. So that's where we're at.
So far, Downriver they've got lead on every jam this game, or this half.
This half.
Yeah.
All right. Are we already in the fifth jam?
Yeah.
How did that just happen? What? Like, I thought...
It's all the confusion from the first half.
I mean, I know jamnesia's a thing, but man, announcer amnesia apparently too.
All right. Pop-Tart and Unleashia are out behind the jammer line. Whistle blown. Jam starts. And Pop-Tart is a lead jammer with four-leaf clobber going to the penalty box.
Okay. I saw that there was a penalty assessed, but it was one of those, like, is it on Pop-Tart or is it one of the blockers?
Yeah, that was a forearm called on four-leaf clobber. And now Shirley Mental is sent to the penalty box for Nashville.
So first 4 points pass cleared for Pop-Tart. Second 4-point pass cleared for Pop-Tart. Unleashia made that initial pass as well. Wait, am I?
Pop-Tart enters the pack knowing that she wants to call off the jam, passes the hips of the first jammer or blocker in the back, turns around, looks to see who's in the penalty box, holds up those two fingers at the ref and says, I got two.
I got two. I got two.
And of course, that was a total of 10.
Points.
Punchbug against Otter Control.
All right.
And Punchbug doing what she does best.
Yep.
Gets around that last blocker. Does go down, but is a lead jammer. Failure to reform called on Electric Cow.
Punchbug getting that notification from her bench. Go ahead and give it a call off. And call off she does, but not before putting 4 points on that board. Nashville right now 104, Downriver 87. We are about 8 minutes into this second half. Whoa.
22 minutes remaining, yes, in this game. We have Rogue versus D-Town Diva.
Both Rogue, both D-Town Diva. I mean, these are two jammers we've seen out there a number of times already. Rogue seems to be real effective. D-Town Diva as well. It feels like D-Town Diva has a higher lead percentage without knowing stats for sure. I'm
Right.
making an assumption. But she does, D-Town Diva does pick up that lead jammer.
Oh, and Rogue is being sent to the penalty box for a cut track. And D-Town Diva is on the power jam.
D-Town Diva clearing that last blocker of, who was that? That was Elita 1 for that full set of 4 points.
And we are 8 jams in, and we had 4 blockers in the penalty box. Maybe just the coming into the second half a little unsure, and I don't know. Just seems like they're just going into the penalty box a little bit more, kind of like the first half of this game. Hopefully it'll calm down a little more, but Downriver is catching up in the score.
Yep, so D-Town Diva definitely wanted to get that lead jammer, wanted to put as many points as she could up on that board for Downriver. And, I mean, she does. She puts 12 up there, so we are back down to a 5-point game. This is 104 to 99. That is definitely what Downriver, I keep wanting to call them downtown. It's definitely what Downriver wanted to see happen, you know, that shift of momentum to bring it to bring it back to being nice and close there. Punchki Bruiser out there with the star for Downriver. Can she pick up lead jammer status and continue that nice little shift of power?
But Rosie the Riveter has been able to get through and pick up lead. She's doing very well in this game. Punchbug and Rosie the Riveter doing very well for Nashville.
Rosie calling it off, but not before picking up those 4 points for Nashville.
Unleashia back out there for Downriver, and that is that Pop-Tart. Yes, that is Pop-Tart. It is a 9-point game. Nashville with 108 points, Downriver with 99, 18 minutes, 55 seconds remaining in this half.
Unleashia and Rogue.
Kablamazon going to the penalty box for a multiplayer, but
that is Pop-Tart who is jamming for Nashville.
And she is sitting in the penalty box now.
So this is a power jam for Unleashia. This is what Downriver wants to see again.
Also, with Unleashia picking up like 19 points in that first half and that single jam, which is the highest of the game.
Obviously, she's going to try to do that again.
Yeah, already putting up 8 points.
8 points on the board now. Unleashia coming up for another.
And Downriver doing a great job of blocking for Unleashia, keeping the blockers away from her.
That was a beautiful sweep that they had there and just kind of shut that door. And with that, that is 12 points and a lead change.
With Pop-Tart forcing, moving a blocker out of her way to get through, even though it doesn't result in points. So, Unleashia has put up 12 points. In the first half, she put up those 19 that got Downriver in the lead. She has done it again, putting
Yep.
12 points on there, putting Downriver back in the lead, 111 to 108.
So we've had a good little momentum shift here. Looks like we've got out of control with the star for Downriver. And that is Punchbug with the star for Nashville. Punchbug pushing at the front there. Picking up lead as she did clear it, but hit to that inside pack, having to reshuffle all the way behind everybody else. Nice thick pack right in there. Stretching it backwards a little bit, stretching it forwards a little bit.
And Otter Control is sent to the penalty box. Power jam for Punchbug. We do have a skater down. That is Scintilla Lace. Medics are attending. At the end of that jam, Downriver is up 111 to Nashville's 108. There are 15 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in this game. We will be going into jam number 12. Scintilla Lace did skate off the track. Medics are helping her out.
You know, we always have our medics at any tournaments that we're at, and we always hope that we never have to utilize them. But, you know, it is in the rule book. If you do not have medics, you cannot have roller derby. So with that, we're going to get back to it. We've got Otter Control and the pivot for Downriver in the penalty box. So this is a power start for Pop-Tart.
I've been told that this is the first penalty for Downriver in this half.
Wow.
Or I should say jammer penalty. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. First jammer penalty.
And Pop-Tart makes her way through the pack, picks up 4 points.
Meanwhile, Otter Control release from that penalty box.
Pop-Tart at the end of that jam calling it, looking not very happy with her blockers. Seems they were supposed to do something that was supposed to help her, I guess, get more. That happens.
There's a lot of stuff going on the track.
And Nashville actually took lead over 113 to 111.
Another lead change. Gonna have to go ahead and take a drink of my water.
Rosie the Riveter jamming against D-Town Diva.
No pack being called, which gives Rosie the Riveter that opportunity to spring from the pack. D-Town Diva cleared that pack as well now. 4 fast points for Rosie, picking it up and calling it off. Keeping Downriver scoreless yet again. I feel like that's one of the first jams that we've seen D-Town Diva out there, and she has not picked up lead jammer.
I believe you're correct. Of course, we're not keeping track of that, but yeah. It's all in our mind.
It is. It's I have a beautiful mind. It's like a giant chalkboard that I try to write things down on. Sometimes stuff gets erased accidentally. Punchkey Bruiser out there with the star.
Oh, Punch Bug sent to the penalty box for a butt track. And just as Nashville took over control,
We've
Donut.
got Punchkey versus Punch.
Yeah.
Punch v Punch. Punchkey versus Punch Bug. Punchkey with that lead jammer.
And Punch Bug is standing in the penalty box as Donut is trying to score some points. Looks like she may pick up 3.
Looks like that is 3 points for Punchkey Bruisers, 0 Nashville. And we are back in a 3-point game. 1-17 Nashville, 1-14 Downriver. If you just heard a thump and an ow, my apologies. That was me. I just hit my head.
And Pop-Tart is jamming against the Unleasha. Pop-Tart is lead jammer. Do you need a medic?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm in Philadelphia. My name's Loose Change. I'm watching roller derby. AprilAngst.
Yes.
It sounds about right.
Yes. All right, Pop-Tart gets swept out of bounds. The pivot for Nashville got sent to the penalty box and then was called back onto the track after they entered the penalty box.
A little bit of a split pack here. It's pack at the back, pack at the front. Unleasha with a star in hand, trying to clear that final blocker. And clear they do. 4 points on the board there for Nashville, or excuse me, 8 points in total for Nashville. Unleasha held scoreless.
Hexen Beast for Downriver was sent to the penalty box for a multiplayer block at the end of that jam. Yeah. Under 11 minutes remaining in this game.
Rogue out there with the star for Nashville.
And that is Otter Control for Downriver. Rogue fighting off the blockers. Breezy puts a last block before Rogue can get out of the pack and is lead jammer.
And we have the first star pass of the game, too. That is number 4, Breezy for Downriver.
Yes, even the house announcers are saying that is the first one we have seen.
I mean, it's taken about 50 minutes for a star pass to happen. Sometimes you see star passes the whole entire time.
Yep.
Sometimes you don't see any star passes. It's really all just a matter of what's the strategy, what's going to play out well for you, what's worked well in the past, and what are you willing to give a shot to.
Yeah, plus, we're later in the game.
Yep.
The teams want to stay within reach.
Exactly.
So whatever
I mean,
works, whatever's effective, you got to do it.
we got a 15-point difference right here. That's one jam we've seen multiple times.
Rosie the Riveter is lead jammer, calling off the jam. She does pick up 3 points.
D-Town Diva held scoreless for Downriver.
All right.
Looks like we've got Punchkey Bruiser out there.
And Punch Bug.
Punch v Punch.
Yeah.
Punch, 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 punch.
And Dona quickly,
Oh, my
right at the
goodness.
whistle, sees the opening on the inside, tiptoes and high steps But Punchbug is right behind her.
Punchky Donut saw. so Donut saw the inside line, took it. Punchbug saw her taking it and just followed, like literally step, 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 and step, step, step. It was just beautiful.
Yes. Like a bug seeing a hole in a wall. Let's escape.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna follow you. You take the lead.
That scoreless jam just ended Nashville's scoring streak. It was a 3-jam scoring streak for them.
Okay. Well, Punchbag back out there, taking up that lead jammer for Nashville. Meanwhile, Unleashia with the star for Downriver. Ooh, Punchbug hit to that outside, recycled back. That is number 7? Cotton Candy Princess, I believe, with a nice hip pop to that outside line.
Punchbug stepping over. Yeah, Punchbug stepping over a down skater and getting called for a back block.
So this is a power jam for Unleashia. So with that, we're going to have a full 2-minute jam because lead jammer status has been lost. 30-second jam for Punchbug. Unleashia needs to be able to figure out how to get through this pack that has just been such a thorn in her side.
Especially this jam. Especially Nashville doing a good job of collecting themselves, getting themselves together to hold her back, knocking her down and out of bounds on several occasions so far.
Meanwhile, Punchbug released from that penalty box. And here we have again, friends, there we go, our second star pass.
It's just a bit psycho now with the star.
So this will, like we said, this will run the full 2 minutes. Punchbug, I think that's 8 points in total that she was able to put up there. 2 points for Downriver as well. So with 6 minutes remaining, 140 Nashville, Downriver at 116.
Eat, Chip, and Die coming in to speak to the referees, asking to watch out for, looks like he was elbows or forearms into the sides.
You learn to read a lot of body language and then just make,
assumptions.
Yep, exactly. Pop-Tart with the star out there. Otter Control with the star as well. Pop-Tart picking up that lead jammer for Nashville.
4-leaf clobber being sent to the penalty box for a forearm. And there's the third star pass. This one goes to Breezy as Pop-Tart is making their way to the pack. Nice job by those blockers, leaving the gaps open and Pop-Tart untouched as she enters and exits the pack.
Pop-Tart able to pick up 8 points. Breezy picking up 1 point. 4 minutes, 40 seconds remain on this period clock. 148, 117. And team timeout being called by Downriver.
Yeah, so they have Nashville is up 31 points. They have 4 minutes and 31 seconds remaining on the clock.
So if you extrapolate data, given what we've seen thus far, we've seen 16-point jams. We've seen 19-point jams. We've seen jammers end up in the penalty box. We've seen jammers stuck behind really good defensive walls. We've seen jammers get some great offensive help. this many points in this amount of time is very easy, one way or another.
On paper, yes.
I mean, of course, on paper. Everything that I talk about is completely hypothetical and on paper.
But yes, I mean, I agree with you 100%. It's just actually doing it.
Right. I mean, obviously, in my mind, it's you need to be able to, if this, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this, the perfect set of circumstances needs to align. Does that always happen? No. Does it still sometimes happen? Weirdly enough, yes, it has before.
And keep yourself out of the penalty box.
Exactly. Score points, stay out of the penalty box.
Yes. So...
That is D-Town Diva with the star for Downriver.
And Rosie the
Held
Riveter
up at the back
for
of
Nashville.
the pack. Rosie the Riveter at the front of the pack. Rosie picking up that lead jammer. So this is what Nashville wants to see. D-Town stuck at the front of that pack. That wall of 3 triangularly shaped blockers happening. Meanwhile, it's another 4 points for Rosie the Riveter.
Oh, beautiful job by Shirley Mental coming out from the inside and hitting D-Town Diva on the outside of the track.
It appeared that Diva was finally at the point that, she was going to clear the pack. And then Mental was just the nice little hip hop, and back in the midst she goes. Meanwhile, just skating around in circles, all the skating, all the turning left. Rosie the Riveter putting another 12 points. And now that's 16 points up on that board. Looking cool, calm, collected, just focusing. Focusing. We had a star pass to Jessup Psycho for Downriver.
And we have quite a bit of skaters heading to the penalty box, being released, sitting. The pack... There's only 4 skaters in the pack at this point. And the jammers are just passing through.
Okay, so we had a good deal amount of folks going to hang out in that penalty box. We've got 2 blockers for each team in there. We currently have 2 people wearing the star. Oh, okay, there we go. I was like,
not to confuse us anymore.
I know there's teams that like to do that and throw extra people out there, and then at the last second, they all kind of shuffle away, but this didn't look like anybody was starting to shuffle. Punchbug picking up that lead jammer. Punchbug, lead jammer for Nashville. Punchky Bruiser out there for Downriver. Was 4 points scored for Nashville. So real quick, let's talk about that last jam. How many points was that?
I was waiting for you to ask. So Nashville scored 24 points on that jam. So for Nashville and for a single jammer, that was the highest scoring jam between both teams for the whole game. But Downriver scored 11 points. So actually 35 points was scored in that jam, the highest scoring jam of this game.
Oh my goodness. So 35 points in total, 24 one team, 11 to the other team. And we've got a team time, official timeout. Yeah, it was an official timeout, it looks like.
We have 1 minute remaining. Nashville 176, Downriver 128.
So we're looking at a 48-point difference at this point in time, potentially entering our last jam of the bout. This is Pop-Tart picking up lead jammer, punch key bruiser. You know, obviously one of the go-to blockers for Downriver out there. Pop-Tart through first with the first set of 4. Punch key coming up herself. Looking to put some more points on the board for Downriver.
Clockwise block called on Scintilla Lace. And Pop-Tart scoring points, 8 points total on this jam, with 7 seconds remaining in this period, but the jam clock is at 1 minute. Pop-Tart looking to her bench, asking if she should call it off. They say yes.
And with that, we've got some clock management. What did I say? The 2 things that are important in roller derby? Clock management and track awareness.
Yes, I remember the
Pop-Tart
awareness, yes.
Being able to say and check in with her bench to say, yep, now it's good, now you can call it.
Yep.
Our unofficial final, because we haven't heard the lovely whoop whoop from the officials. And there it is. Nashville coming out on top with 185. Downriver 132.
I hope you really enjoyed this game. It was a very close game throughout this whole game up until the last,
three jams.
Yeah.
The last 3 jams
And
is
that-
where it really, the turning point happened for Nashville, and they were able to gel and solidify
Yes.
and become the team that they needed to be in order.
Yeah, I think they stopped putting themselves in the penalty box.
Yep.
And that 24-point jam really helped.
Yep.
Plus, they were getting lead after lead after lead to keep themselves in control of this game.
Absolutely. It has been such a pleasure sharing this second game of the day with you, everyone out there on the interwebs, as well as you, Mr. Rat.
It was a pleasure for me as well, Loose Change.
All right. Well, you have yourselves a great day. Don't go too far because we still have more roller derby. What?
Yeah, we have 3 games remaining in the day.
3 more games.
Yeah,
So we've got the Hooligans, which are hometown heroes, going up against Mohawk Valley. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then we've got Downriver. So we'll see Downriver play again against the She-Devils, which are, again, the Penn Jersey hometown heroes. And then we're going to see Nashville, which we just saw again, play Forest City. So, we still have some really amazing roller derby ahead of us.
Yes, we do. And please keep listening in on the stream for Penn Jersey's AprilAngst.
Yeah, man. Check them out on the Facebooks. Check them out on the YouTubes. Hit subscribe, because then it's you get a little notice where it's live and you can watch stuff. It's great. Well, it's been wonderful. It's been fun. On behalf of Mr. Rat, our wonderful producer, the Kragan, and myself, Loose Change, thank you for spending this time with us. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye-bye.